Well, good morning. Back out. A little different conditions than the last video, but it's quite foggy, but it's also really windy, so kind of high in elevation. So I'm having to deal with a lot this morning. And really, I'm just getting right into it because I don't know how long the weather's going to be hospitable, because I think it's expecting some rain sometime this morning. So I'm trying to get in and get it in when I can. So it's kind of the trials and tribulations of a part-time photographer. I'm kind of west of Tokyo. I'm primarily always going to be west of Tokyo, but I'm down in an unspecified location. I'd rather not mention where I'm at because it's kind of one of these places that you kind of want to protect. But I'm in between Tokyo and Fuji, and it's got a lot of big trees, and I've been to this area quite a few times, and it's something I like to try to do is kind of revisit locations time and time again. That way I can get to know it a little more intimately. It's quite windy in here. Like I said, I'm having to deal with a lot. There's no rain quite yet, but yeah, I found a composition here, so I'm going to jump right into it and walk you through what I'm looking at right now. Okay, what I'm looking at here is I've got this tree that's got a limb coming out. It's quite large limb, and it's really fantastic actually. This tree's quite large for the area. Waves of fog or clouds will move through, and it'll really give me the separation I need. But as you can see how I've got it framed up, starting on the left hand side, it kind of works its way up right into the frame, right into your face pretty much on the right hand side. That's kind of what I'm going for. Use that big limb to kind of lead you in and kind of lead you in to the frame. But also, if you look back here, I've purposely inside this archway placed this second tree back here in the back. It mimics this tree in the way it's kind of shaped. Quite smaller, kind of like a sibling of this tree. So they're both kind of reaching out to me, and I just think it's fantastic. I've been in here before with no fog, and this is not something I would have noticed per se, or gotten the separation I needed to kind of isolate both subjects. So I don't know, we'll see how it looks on once I get it in the Lightroom and start editing. I think it works for me right now. But yeah, it's the first image of the day, and we'll move on and see what else we can find. All right. Well, I'd like to say that this was easy. From composing this photo to the technical things that I had to work through while out in the field, just proved to be quite difficult. But I have to say, I am surprised at how good this turned out. I really do like it. As you can see, I tried to frame up my supporting characters there in the background nicely without cutting off too much of them. And I really tried to pay attention to that. And what I had to do was just kind of disregard my own comfort while I was out there and really focus in on these things. And that's been a learning point for me, is to do this stuff in the field that way you're not trying to jack around with it in post-production, because usually you can't recover those mistakes that I've found. This large tree with that branch coming right out in your face, I wanted to highlight that and get that in the frame. But it was, all in all, quite difficult to do. So I probably worked this scene for about 30 minutes, and this was the best one I came away with, and I do like how it turned out. Okay, let me walk you through this one. This one I quite like. Okay. So as you can see, I've got this this tree right here is kind of my point of interest. Framed, I got a tree right here in the foreground, kind of framing it with this tree over here, with this leading line here, this log. Everything looks like it kind of just, to me, just spirals in. And I don't know if you can really tell, but there is a larger tree in the background that kind of mimics these two trees here, because these are two separate trees. And the fog will come through and it'll be quite nice. Just kind of waiting on it. It's got some nice soft directional light coming from the left, kind of backlighting this whole scene. So it's pretty neat. Again, you can see how much movement there is with the wind and stuff. So I'm really having to work on that. Play with my ISO, shoot a fast enough shutter speed to kind of freeze what I can. I don't mind a little bit of motion, but I think it, I don't know, I've been playing around with it. I think it kind of gives you a little bit of light, life in the photo, a little bit of movement. I know people want tack sharp. Sometimes it's okay, I think, but it's something to play around with, and that's what I've been trying to do, is experiment with that. Okay, I'll show you this image now. This image turned out fairly decent. It's not, I would say, a portfolio image by no means, but it was fun to work out, and I enjoy working with difficult compositions in the forest, and this was one of them again. What I liked about it is that the tree on the left was quite large and had a lot of character to it, but more importantly, the trees on the right, how they complement that tree on the left. To my eye, they do. They both kind of lean in towards the center of the frame. The tree in the background behind the tree on the right looks like a large finger. It kind of comes in behind it and helps frame a smaller tree there in the middle there, the middle right. I thought was quite nice, and there's some fog mixed in there to help give separation to some of the scene. But all in all, it's a fairly decent image. Again, it's not a portfolio image. The other thing when I was post-processing this and what I've been working on, and I gotta say thanks to David Thompson for helping me with this, because it's the color separation. So really taking those, it's obviously a green scene, but there's different shades of that green, and really working on separating that, and doing all that with my mid-tone contrast, and really pulling out and separating and stretching those colors out. Well, again, I'm okay with this image. I'll probably revisit it. Mark that location. I'll revisit it in autumn, which is not too far from now, and we'll see how it looks then. Well, what a morning. It was kind of eventful. A lot of wind. I expected that. I was prepared for that. It was a great opportunity, though, just to get out and shoot. Anytime you're in nature, I'll say this over and over again, it's just a great opportunity, regardless of the conditions or regardless of what your goal is. And I try to keep my goals minimal when I come out here, because I mean, I've learned that if I come out here with an expectation and that doesn't happen, then you leave here with a bad taste in your mouth. And that's not why I come out here. So I have to remind myself of that constantly. But yeah, today was great. I got to work on those technical skills, be able to, change the ISO to be able to get a faster shutter speed, then stop it back down to, or lower the shutter speed so I can make sure I maintain detail in the shadows and don't have too much noise in it. And it's just great exercise, to be honest with you. And that's how I kind of approach this, is anytime I'm out here, I'm learning and growing. And that way, when I get into situations where I think I might have an opportunity at a portfolio image, which are few and far between, I'll have those technical skills ready to go. That's my thought process. But it's changing, right, all the time. But yeah, it was just a great opportunity to be out. One other thing I'll mention is you probably see me use a geared tripod head, and that has been probably the one piece of gear that has made a huge the processing, you know, that takes time and that comes, but the one piece of kit is this geared head. Slows me down. It helps me fine-tune minutely a composition, and that's just been great. I've had it for a year now, and drastic improvement. I mean, I'd got here with a ball head, and I don't know, just you don't know what you're missing until you get it right. And once I got this geared head, I realized I'm never going back. So that's my 2 cents on that. It was a great morning, great opportunity to be out in nature. If you like this video, go ahead and hit like. I appreciate you subscribing if you are. If you're not, hit that subscription button and the notification bell. That way you'll know when I upload a video, and I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned. There's more coming, and autumn's just around the corner. Should be good in Japan. All right, take care.